Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Krista Williamson. With a renewed commitment to more accessible and community-based health care for residents in the area, a ceremony was held for the official reopening of the Anstown Community Clinic. The ceremony was held at the clinic's location on Williams Lane on April 16, 2025.
While we are here to open a clinic, we must also face the truth. For too long, too many Bahamians have lived with a healthcare system that has struggled to meet their most basic needs. They have waited too long for help, traveled too far for treatment, watched facilities close or fall into disrepair. And they have spoken out loudly, clearly, and might I add, rightly. They have said the system is broken, yes, and they are not wrong. For the past 3 years, we have begun the work of bending it back into shape. Minister Dowell, have every confidence to believe in what you're doing. We will bend into shape our broken system. We have to, because the consequences of failure are too great. This is not about political promises. It's about people's lives. People who deserve to be treated with dignity. People who deserve care that's consistent, local, and humane. This clinic in Anstown has been modernized, not refurbished, but modernized. It's been equipped to deliver 21st century primary care. The infrastructure is strong, the technology is up to date, and the services will now reach more people more quickly with fewer barriers. This is part of a wider strategy, a serious, coordinated effort to fix what has long been broken in our healthcare system. Because I've seen the problems up close. I've sat with health officials. I've spoken to nurses working double shifts. I've heard from patients who waited weeks to be seen or never got through the door at all. Yes. I know what the reality has been, and I know what it needs to become. We are a country of islands, but that must never mean a country of unequal care. Geography can't be a reason people go without help, and so our plan meets that challenge head on. We are improving infrastructure, not just here, but across the family of islands. We are expanding mobile units to reach isolated settlements. We are upgrading our patient data systems to ensure continuity of care. And we are strengthening public health teams to focus on prevention, because it is no longer enough to treat sickness after it arrives. We must prevent it before it takes hold. Our people are living with chronic conditions, hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease. That can be better managed, even avoided, with stronger community-based care. This is where the shift begins. But we must also face the harsh truth that rebuilding a system that has been neglected for years does not happen in one press release or one budget cycle. It happens through honest assessment, disciplined execution, and a long-term view. And it requires something more, something government must always have: moral clarity. Because this work is not optional. It is not political. It is necessary. It is the difference between fear and assurance, reassurance, between delay and access, between being seen and being forgotten. That's why we are doing it. We are fixing clinics. We are investing in personnel. We are backing our nurses and doctors with what they need to do their jobs well. And we are confronting this challenge the way it should have been confronted years ago. Seriously, strategically, and sustainably. The people of Anstown and communities across this country have been patient. In many years, too patient. They deserve a system that meets them with competence and care. Today, we take another step toward that. This is a new beginning, but it's also a clear sign. We are building a healthcare system worthy of the people it serves. We will bend it into shape. We have to. The truth is, we inherited a system in crisis, but we didn't stand back. We stepped up. And while there's more to do, and I won't pretend otherwise, progress is being made. Quietly, steadily, and seriously. Friends, for me, this is not about infrastructure. It's about people. It's about building a system with dignity. Dignity for the young mother who needs help for her child and doesn't want to wait hours to be seen. Dignity for the elder in Cat Island or Crooked Island who deserves the same access to care as someone here in Nassau. Dignity for the nurses working through the night who deserve a safe working environment, working equipment, and of course, fair pay. That's why we say we'll bend our broken system back into shape. We have to. Because this is no longer about diagnosing the problem. We all know what's gone wrong. This is about doing the hard work to make it right. And that's what we, the PLP, is doing. We are focused on delivery, on making the system more responsive, on catching illness earlier, on shifting toward prevention, because care that arrives too late isn't care at all.
The National Insurance Board and the Union of Public Officers signed a new 5-year industrial agreement outlining improved benefits and working conditions for employees represented by the UPO. A signing ceremony took place at the National Insurance Board on April 14, 2025.
I'm happy to join members of NIB's management team and executive of the Union of Public Officers this morning to sign a new industrial agreement. Today's signing confirms NIB's commitment to protecting the rights and well-being of employees, with a focus on encouraging collaboration and sustainability. The signing of this new industrial agreement reflects that commitment and serves as a symbol of our collective values and shared goals in keeping this institution and the vital service it provides operational. It is critically important that NIB recognize, rewards, and supports its employees. It is our responsibility to ensure that our employees are properly acknowledged with fair wages, safe working conditions, and opportunities for advancement. The President of UPO just highlighted a number of improvements to the working terms and condition of employees, but I'll just highlight two. It is the increased mileage allowance, and it is also that Christmas bonus is no longer, as she says, performance-based. It is a glad tidings, recognition for all those who work at the board.
Amen. Amen.
This present agreement is a 5-year agreement that commences January 1st, 2024 and expires December 31st, 2028. Negotiations are never easy, so I wish to commend management, union representatives, and all those who have worked tirelessly and played a pivotal role in making this industrial agreement a reality. I say a special thank you to my fellow board member, Mr. Daniel Thompson, for the role he has played. I also say thank you, a special thank you, to Minister Sayers, who has provided guidance along the way. I say a special thank you to Ms. Sherelle Saunders, the former Deputy Director of HR here at NIB. She put in quite a bit of time. I also want to recognize the current Financial Controller, Ms. Anastasia Ferguson, who joined these discussions midway, but she jumped in a very constructive way to help us to get where we are today. I pay special thank you also to President Vanderpool. She's tough, she's practical, and she worked very hard. And members of UPO, I can tell you that she never stopped working for you. To our workers, thank you for your patience and continued dedication to service. I am indeed pleased that the board has been able to uphold its commitment in supporting our workers by providing the framework for strong industrial relations that supports the rights and well-being of our staff. Earlier this year, we alluded to the conclusion of these negotiations, and we are elated that NIB has successfully completed 5-year agreements between both the UPO and the Public Managers Union. And so we think that at NIB we're in a good place now to focus our attention on some of the things that we need in terms of service to the public and the growth and sustainability and the effective management of the assets of the fund.
And now we take a look up north with our Northern Service. Culture, creativity, and national pride echoed once again as the 2025 Clement Bethel National Arts Festival went underway in Grand Bahama beginning March 25, 2025. Named after Bahamian cultural icon and the first director of culture, the late Clement Bethel, the National Arts Festival is a celebration of Bahamian pride and artistic expression. The event is hosted annually by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture and showcases Bahamian talent in drama, dance, music, and more.
Being that the National Arts Festival is the only national level performance that the students have, what we do here at St. George's High School is we make sure that all students that are enrolled in the Performing Arts program enter the festival, whether it be in dance, music, drama, art, and the grades and scores that the adjudicators give, they actually go into our grade books and count towards the end of term grades and exams. I used to do National Arts Festival when I was in school, and so of course as a teacher it's only natural to make sure that my students have the same experience, and over the years we've had plenty of successes playing national winners. I've seen growth in my students. I've had students that are now off in college studying music, or some not studying music but still in choirs, bands, and they too can speak of their success and how the National Arts Festival has helped them over the years.
As a participant in the National Arts Festival, I've been doing it for years now. I've did singing, dancing, individual speaking, and also instruments. Well, it did teach me discipline, that I do have to take a lot of time to practice songs and dances, and also monologues and instruments. And so with all of that, I also learned more skills and manage my time more, and so I'm also the president of the Jags Pop Band, and so with all of that I could help put the students together, tell them their parts, and make sure that everything is good, make sure the band is playing the right key and their chords and stuff, and so that teach me a lot. Thank you so much to the Nassau Music Society. I really appreciate it.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. As a part of a broader strategy to address domestic violence, the Royal Bahamas Police Force officially launched its new domestic violence unit. A ceremony for the launch of the unit was held on April 14, 2025 at its new Infant View Road location. The domestic violence unit is expected to provide specialized support to victims and strengthen preventative outreach for communities throughout the nation.
It is indeed an honor and a deeply humbling privilege to stand before you on this historic day that speaks volumes, not just to the progress of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, but to the conscience of our nation. With the official opening of this dedicated domestic violence unit building, we are declaring that enough is enough. We are saying that the cries of victims will no longer go unheard. Those who hurt the most vulnerable among us will be met with swift, informed, and coordinated justice. Domestic violence isn't a private matter. It is a national emergency. It is a public health crisis, a human rights violation, and a threat to the very fabric of our society. The opening of this dedicated building now amplifies the functions of Domestic Violence Unit Task Force, which includes collaborating with government agencies, churches, NGOs, civic organizations, and the private sector, providing round-the-clock services for victims, investigating all domestic violence cases, providing a safe haven and a temporary housing for high-risk cases, maintaining a database for detection and prevention, completing risk assessments and assisting with protection orders, and directing medical, psychological, and welfare referrals to the appropriate agencies. Our bold vision as an organization to tackle this problem was not born out of conveniences, but necessity. Listening to victims, witnessing the senseless loss of life, broken families, and silent cries for help. The Domestic Violence Unit Task Force is a proactive, strategic, and compassionate approach to domestic violence, one that is rooted in the belief that every life matters and every voice deserves to be heard. It is about prevention through education and awareness, early intervention, ensuring that survivors are shielded from continuous harm, and accountability, acknowledging that justice alone is not enough. The survivors need emotional, psychological, and social support to rebuild their lives. Our officers in this unit are trained professionals equipped with trauma-informed care techniques, specialized investigation tools, and the skills to connect deeply with victims. Our statistics indicate that domestic violence-related cases have increased by 4% in 2024 when compared to 2023. Cases of assault, causing harm, and threats of death increased by 16%, 24%, and 21% respectively. These numbers speak volumes, and they demand our attention. What's even more alarming is what the numbers don't show: those that are not reported and those who suffer in silence. But today, we shine a light on all of them. This domestic violence unit is a lifeline, a second chance, a voice of authority saying, we see you, we believe in you, we are here for you. And by standing here in this new building, surrounded by leaders, officers, partners, and citizens committed to change, we are declaring together that no one in our Bahamas will be left to face abuse alone. With the opening of this purpose-built state-of-the-art facility, we are not just cutting the ribbon, We are turning a page in our nation's history. We are taking our mission, thank you. We are taking our mission to a whole new level, a level where compassion meets professionalism and where justice is not delayed, but is delivered with care, clarity, and conviction. This building is more than brick and mortar. It represents a new standard, a bold re-imaging of what it means to protect and serve survivors of domestic violence. This center will offer a dedicated interview and counseling space, an on-site victim support liaison trained in first aid, who can offer immediate care, information and emotional guidance in those critical first moments after a report is made. Centralized case coordination designed to cut through red tape and ensure that investigations are not delayed, and a real-time database tracking and analysis, allowing us to monitor trends, identify emerging hotspots, and deploy resources strategically. From this new home base, the Domestic Violence Task Force will launch a new era of hope, empowerment, and justice. It will stand as a national model of what meaningful people-centered policing looks like. But let me be clear, the work that begins in this building cannot end here. The fight against domestic violence is not a burden of the police. It is a shared responsibility, a moral perspective that calls every Bahamian into action. I urge families to create safe spaces of love, respect, and open communication. I urge our educators to teach our children from an early age about boundaries, consent, and healthy relationships. And I urge our faith leaders to speak boldly from the pulpit, not just about forgiveness, but about accountability and justice. I beseech neighbors to stop looking the other way and start looking out for one another. To foster communities that will protect abuse, that stops protecting abusers and start protecting survivors. It is only by working together across all sectors of society that we can truly make a difference. We envision a Bahamas where no child grows up believing that abuse is normal, where no woman or man, boy or girl, is made to feel powerless, voiceless, and where every home is a sanctuary, a place of love, safety, and peace, not fear, pain, or trauma. This is the future we are building, brick by brick, case by case, life by life. And this new facility is a symbol of that future, a future where change is no longer just a conversation, but a commitment. Let this building be a beacon, a place where the vulnerable are protected, the guilty are prosecuted, and a new standard is set for how we treat one another in this country.
With the goal of shining a spotlight on Bahamian talent and creativity and strengthen the orange economy, the National Cultural Registry website was launched. The new platform, developed by the National Commission for UNESCO in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, is designed to be a hub for the creative industry in the Bahamas. The launching ceremony took place at the University of the Bahamas on April 14th, 2025.
National Arts Registry project is the final component of the joint SDG fund program, the Bahamas and Bermuda, and the Secretary General would have gone through some of this. Building back equal through innovative financing for gender equality and women's empowerment, and it's comprised of various UN agencies, inclusive of UNESCO, and she went through the agencies. According to UNESCO's third edition of the Global Report, reshaping policies for creativity, culture, and creativity represent 3.1% of the global GDP and 6.2% of all employment. In the recent years, the Bahamas has undertaken initiatives to situate the creative economy, also known, as you've heard, as the orange economy, as a strategic pillar for the national sustainable development. The Artists Registry of the Bahamas will also contribute to the CARICOM's initiative on Regional Registry of Artists and Cultural Workers, which would facilitate access to the Economic Partnership Agreement, the EPA, with the European Union. The Artists Registry Initiative places a strong emphasis on inclusivity, ensuring that the registry reflects the diversity of the Bahamas' cultural and creative landscape. This project, its intent is to support the creation of partnerships and networks and strengthen the creation, production, distribution, and commercialization of cultural and creative products and services in the Bahamas. Creators around the archipelago are afforded the opportunity to showcase and promote their talents on a local and global stage. Visual and digital artists, straw crafters, entertainers, musicians, Junkanoo practitioners, filmmakers, poets, authors, jewelry makers, actors, producers, dancers, all are involved in the orange economy and will be impacted by this initiative. This registry brings a focus to the creative arts, and it is long overdue. We are a culturally rich and brilliantly creative people, and this will allow the facilitation of an array of cultural entrepreneurs to mainstream their talents. As you know, CAPAS, the Performing Arts, our tertiary institution, is well on its way. This is complemented by the curriculum development in the Ministry of Education, where we are bringing singular focus on the creative arts in public schools, and we are training teachers. As you know and as you've heard, we have integrated Junkanoo into the curriculum, mathematics, language arts, religious knowledge, physical education. We are working now, come September, for Rake and Scrape to be integrated into the music curriculum nationwide in our public schools. And we will launch the first ever modern Bahamian history text on April 29th of this year. We'll mark it the 60th anniversary of Black Tuesday. We will launch this history book to be unleashed in our schools. So this is about freedom, pure and simple. The minister said identity. So this is truly about our freedom as a Bahamian people and economic opportunity. The bolstering of this economic stream will enhance our nation's GDP and create new opportunities for our creatives, some of which we have never seen before. I want to thank Ms. Bevans and Ms. Sands for the groundwork, the considerable groundwork they have done to bring us to this moment. Thank you very much.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings, where we bring you coverage, highlights, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.